Welcome to the stage, Maddix.
I'll wait till he announces.
And of course, we gotta bring the mentor of this super genius to the stage, Maddix.
What's up, brother? I love you, man.
I love your guys' hugs.
We give good hugs.
They give some massive hugs. This is ridiculous. I'm just kidding. All right. So, oh man, I'm so excited that you guys are here, man. This is great. I remember meeting you for the first time at Secret Knock. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
Maybe a year before that. And he said one of the most profound things I've ever heard on stage when he goes, "No, my dad never paid me for chores. My dad paid me to read success books." Wow. If you want to train your kid into a maid, or somebody cleaning someone's hotels, yeah, sure. Pay them to do chores by cleaning a room, things like that. But you want them to run successful companies. You want them to change the world. Have them read from the successful people that have done it before. I love that. So let's start by sharing, a little bit of insights on entrepreneurship. You've been an entrepreneur for many years. You're now a 7-figure earner at how old?
17 tomorrow, actually.
17 tomorrow. You guys sing happy birthday. Maybe not sing happy birthday. We don't have enough time for that right now. All right, so
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank
tell
you.
me a little bit about how entrepreneurship has been for you, and in the years you've been doing this, and what you would suggest to other people that are trying to follow similar footsteps.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before I get into anything, and before I let my dad take the mic too and drop himself, I wanna edify you, bro, and give you a shout out. We travel around the world and we go to these entrepreneur events, and hundreds of them that we've been to, hundreds of them that we've been on their stage, and they're all about selling. They're all about making money. They're all about collecting fame, blowing up on social media. But the reason why we wanted to take this one, and we were trying to do anything in our power to make this happen and be at this event, is because of that word right
Serve.
there. And that's serve. So let's give it up for Manny and the entire team for putting this together. And also, anytime I can share the stage with my dad, it's an absolute honor. I've sat down. I remember whenever we went over to Arnold Schwarzenegger's house, we were sitting down. He was sitting in this big old chair. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger chair. You can tell that this is where Arnold Schwarzenegger sits. And I was literally on my knees, sitting at the feet of a master. And I remember being halfway through him talking and just dropping these bombs and dropping all this amazing information. And I was thinking to myself, wow, how disappointing is this? I'm sitting down with Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the #1 legends on the face of the earth, and he's only half the man that my dad is, who I've lived with my entire life. So I want to give a shout out to my dad real quick for who he is. But so to start off, if you want to talk about some things about entrepreneurship, I want to bring it back to the entire point of this event, and that is serving. You asked Les Brown, which it's insane to be able to have Les Brown up there and him dropping all of his information. You were like, where's the earth going? Where's business going? What's the future? And he was talking about providing value. That was the only thing that he brought up. And I think it's interesting because no matter what happens, no matter if AI comes in, no matter what social media platform emerges, no matter what happens, you're always going to get, your income is always going to increase based off of the impact that you deliver. And I think where a lot of people go wrong is their motives are in the entire wrong place. People ask me Caleb, why do I lack motivation? I'm like, it's because your motives are wrong. You want the money, you want the fame, you want the car, you want the girl or the guy. You want things that don't actually matter. You want a number in your bank account. Whenever you realize that the moment that number hits your bank account, you realize it's the exact same thing as if you went into the notes on your phone and typed that number out. The number means nothing. It's the thing behind those numbers, which is the people. So for me, with my obsession, people always ask me that, what's your obsession? What are you on this earth to do? My obsession is impacting people and allowing people to have a 180-degree transformation in their life. And when that's your focus, it's really hard to lose.
Inspire.
So Matt, tell me a little bit, how is it on a daily basis trying to keep this kid off, trying to bounce off the walls? I mean, I don't know how he can contain this much energy after this many hours. Right? I mean, you guys have been here a while, networking, taking selfies, and collaborating, and just being a sponge for knowledge as well on a lot of this. So what is a what's a day in the life of Matt and Caleb?
Well, first of all, I echo what Caleb said. Has Manny done awesome? Him and his whole team, his wife, his family. Let's give them one more good hand clap. You guys have done a great job. I've hosted 103 live events. I know what it's like. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. And thank you guys. All of you guys that stayed here all day, give yourselves a good hand clap.
Yeah.
All other speakers, thank you so much. Good to see some Maddix publishing people here. Our boy Bryce and Julian, the little elementary entrepreneur, and Bernie's back there somewhere. We got others, but anyways, day in the life of Caleb. Well, first of all, everybody's always, talking, because it's all about positioning, right? And everybody talks about what books they've written and, how many businesses they've built. And we sit in all these rooms, and I just smile, because I'm like, dude, y'all ain't got nothing on me. I raised Caleb Maddix, man. So, but you know what? It's a blessing. It really is. I mean, the kid's got a lot of energy. He's always had a lot of energy, but he's full of passion, and he's the real deal. And it's awesome to just see it all unfold, because he used to be so shy and so insecure. And just to watch his hunger, a day in the life is like this. We're very habit-driven, and we're very big into alignment to our values. And so it's just the day, it's nothing magical other than just doing what we love based on the four things, and that's physical, financial, spiritual, relational. So everything we do 24/7 is based on those four things. So, we wake up early, we're morning people, we love to rollerblade, we love to play basketball and tennis, big into personal growth, but our primary focus is serving, selling, and marketing. And we do those three things every single day, no matter what. Of course, we're on a race. We both have written 9 books. So that 10th book right now, we're very competitive. And so I'm going to have him beat, though, because he don't know that I got one just about done. So anyways, I got him beat to number 10.
So now Power of Books, I mean, you guys are avid readers, you're avid publishers, you have your own publishing company. How important is it for you to have your own book as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think it's massively important. I think, if you look at the top religions in the world, right, they all got their message out through a book. And when you model something like that, I sat down, here's what I believe. There is a power in patterns. There's a power in patterns. And what I'm obsessed with is studying the patterns and looking at, I want to be like this. Well, who's somebody who has patterns that's gotten there, and how can I mimic those patterns? And I remember at a young age having a message deeply inside of me that I was obsessed with getting out there. And I started looking at all the experts and looked at the pattern. One thing I found is, you look at the far majority of experts, they've written a book. So for me, I look at the power, I look at the patterns of successful people. I found that all the experts, have written a book. If I want to become an expert, I have to do what they've done. So that to me is, if you look at it, it's one of the number one ways to get your message out there, establish credibility, and experts have done it, So.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that most people don't know, authors have more authority than doctors today.
Yeah.
I mean, just having the ability to get your message out there just puts you on that instant credibility factor, as long as you've got good value, right? I mean, if you're sharing good knowledge, you're sharing good tips, you're not stealing somebody else's ideas, then you're going to be in a good position. Now, this is a question for both of you. How do you serve your way to success?
That's a good question. Well, everybody asks me, as Caleb's dad, what's been the secret to your son's success? And there's many things. He's got unbelievable work ethic. He applies all the things that I've taught him through the years. But the number one thing is serving. I mean, he's been on 53 mission trips, and he's only 16 years old. And he spent every single Friday morning going under the bridge and taking Starbucks coffee to the homeless. That was our thing. We didn't ask Starbucks to donate it. We went and bought it out of our own pocket. And it was kind of a private thing that we did just between God and I and Caleb. And anytime it would be cold, we'd go buy sleeping bags. And then we started our own missions movement, doing missions trips in America, because I've been on a lot of third world country mission trips, and we need to keep doing those. And I love what you're doing, man, because, people forget about America. So it's to me, that's the very reason why we are where we are today and why we've been so blessed. And people are like, you guys are so lucky. And it's like, no, there's no magic formula, guys. Even Jesus said, he that is greatest is your servant. And everybody wants greatness in the entrepreneur world. Everybody wants to hang with Gary Vee or Tony Robbins, and they don't realize that if you want to be great, like Caleb Maddix, the reason why he's had so much success, I'm going to tell you guys a story. At all of our events, he's always wanting to work. We were at, I see Nikki's here, they do Epic Mastermind, and last year we got in a day early, and we were at the hotel and we were tired, we travel a lot, and he got showered and changed. He's like, all right, let's go. I was like, what do you want to do? You know, it's San Diego. I think maybe we're going to go out and have fun, chill, go ride some scooters or whatever. We love those things, by the way. But anyways, he goes, no, I want to go down and help them. I heard they're setting up. And so here he is, Caleb Maddix, you know, speaks all over the world. And he's down there on a Friday night helping set up the room with a few workers. And, you know, nobody knows that kind of stuff. You know, that's kind of stuff I get to see. The stuff he does on a regular, daily basis is all serving. And that's why he's blessed. And so that is, guys, any of you out there that are inspiring to be great, the way to greatness is serving. So just commit to serve and let the results take care of itself. It'll show up. It'll happen in the right time. Just keep your motives right. Stay hungry. Don't lose your purity. Don't lose the purity. I tell Caleb all the time, the greater, go ahead, clap it up. I like that, Cass. My boy Cass back there, he's taking care of it. But listen, I tell Caleb all the time, the higher you go, the more you serve, the better you treat people. Because I see a lot of people, when they get successful, they go to their heads and they become arrogant and unapproachable. And I told Caleb, don't ever be that way. And as a dad, I'm so thankful that he's not.
Woo! Give it up for that. That was a good stuff.
The most successful are the most accessible. You gotta realize that. But if they're too busy for you, probably not successful. They're probably just like a duck, right? They look all, you know, fancy and nice and happy on the outside, but then, you know, below the water, they're flipping crazy, like, I don't want to drown, right? So you got to realize, guys, if you want to give, you want to connect and collaborate, it's all about serving. You see it over and over again. You see every single person coming up on stage that have created massive success. They've focused it around serving. Now, I want to ask you guys a question that's going to pertain to our From Orphaned to EXPO project. So the kids that are going to be watching this recording, this training, the content that we're putting together here, it's kind of a twofold. I'm a little selfish here, guys. One is to help you guys get some awesome knowledge, but for me, it's also, I got a bunch of cameras here that are capturing all this, so we can get these kids on-demand content. It's going to be part of my TV show on Netflix. This is going to be massive, massive undertaking of content and value, but I want to get some good nuggets on tape of what would you suggest? Say we've got 15 orphans sitting right in front of you here and say, okay, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. I mean, I host these From Orphan to CEO events, bring these kids up on stage. They have no clue what they want to do. They believe that they're supposed to work at McDonald's. They're supposed to wait for somebody to give them an opportunity. What do you say to somebody that doesn't even know what the word entrepreneurship is?
Yeah, for sure. So you're saying, what is my advice to someone who is like an orphan in that situation?
Let's say they just don't know their dream is possible. What do you say to somebody like that?
This one fires me up. They don't know their dream is possible. Look around and realize that everything around you is impossible. Like this is the way my brain works. Like I sit back and I look at like rain for an example. It'll be raining. And I just think of the fact that there was literally water on the ground and it traveled through the air. It evaporated, right? Hear me out on this. It evaporated through the air, went up, and it started to form this thing called a cloud. And when it got heavy enough, it went back down and then went back up. Like when you realize how impossible everything around us is, when you realize, hold up for a second, how many phones are there right now? Like how is that even possible? Like think about this. This guy right here is filming me. It is capturing this moment and someone 150 years from now can watch this exact second.
Nice.
150 years ago, that was impossible. We literally live in a world full of impossibilities. And all the people who look at me and they say, Caleb, it's impossible for me to build a brand. It's impossible for me to do this. All the average people who say that your dreams are impossible, you have to realize they all look up to the people who did the impossible. Look at this. You have someone, let's say your mom doesn't believe in your vision. All right, let's just assume that your mom doesn't believe that what you're going for is the right choice, is the right move, and she doesn't think it's possible for you to do this. She also kicks back and watches Oprah, who literally went from homeless, she was abused, she did all this, and she became a multi-billion-dollar woman who everybody on earth pretty much knows. When you realize that you're no different from an Oprah or from a Steve Jobs or from any, the only thing that's different is their standards were so high. Their ambitions were so high. I sat down with Arnold Schwarzenegger and I said, Arnold, like, what is your best piece of advice for me? You know what he said? Dream big. And I remember when he told me that, to be honest with you, man, I was a little bit disappointed because I was like, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the most cliche advice I've ever heard. But he went on to expand, and then they got really, really deep. He started talking about how when he was younger, his parents literally thought he was so crazy that they hired a psychiatrist to work on his brain. Because they thought his aspirations, his ambitions were so big that he literally had a problem with his brain. Until you had someone hire a psychiatrist because of your dreams, you can't tell me that something's impossible.
I mean, you know, I get to live with this 24/7. This is why I started homeschooling him when he was 12 years old, because I'm like, dude, I got to have constant motivation. So I live with this, so I'm blessed. But, you know, I was telling my beautiful girlfriend down here on the front row, so if you see the most beautiful girl in the world, you'll know that she's taken, by the way. But, you know, people ask me. But people ask me, you know, about Caleb when he was younger, because I want to talk to you kids and give you some hope that, you know, we didn't have it easy. We really didn't. And Caleb struggled to get to where he is today. But I can give you a little secret that he did, that even if you don't have a good dad or a good mom that believes in you, you have Manny, you have us, okay? I don't know where you're watching from, but I want you to know we believe in you. And one thing I know about kids is that if you feed their mind, and so you may not have anything, but if you can get to YouTube or to books, what I did is I want to tell you kids, I had Caleb reading books at a young age, and he didn't like this at first, but I literally threw away all of his video games when he was 7 years old. Throw them away. No video games in this house. Zero, huh? Yeah, now there was like app blockers and all kinds of stuff. Like, let me see your phone. Even to this day, I still have access to his phone. But he keeps reminding me, look, I'm almost 18, so anyways. But The Power of Positive Thinking is a book that I had Caleb read. I had Caleb watch every single Tony Robbins videos. No joke, probably 40, 50 times. The only way is immersion. What I mean by that, kids, is rather than wasting your time playing video games and, you know, just being bored, use that time. And this is what Caleb did at a young age. He used that time to study. Sounds boring, but it's really not, because it didn't just feed his mind, it fed his soul. And it made him powerful. It made him confident. It changed the way he thinks. It totally transformed every area of his life because he read the right books and he went to YouTube, and instead of having him watch a bunch of junk on TV, I had him watching Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield and reading books like Success Principles and Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People. And kids, if you do that, I promise you, you're going to have a bright future no matter where you're at right now or what you've been through. The future is yours if you feed your mind and you stay around the right people. That's what Caleb did. Plus, yoga. That's what I got Caleb into when he was young, parents. Yoga. Anyways.
All right, so here's what I want. You guys have a free giveaway for everyone in the audience, right?
Yes.
They have an awesome giveaway, and they're giving away a $25,000 program for the Speaker's Paradise. And we're going to give it that way very, very shortly. So, here's what I want to do. Each of you guys can text in right now. That same phone number we've been texting all day, 714-369-8528. Just text the word Maddix. right there in blue. Can't miss a spell. Maddix. You guys will get that free gift, and you'll get connected with Caleb and Matt. Awesome. Let's give them a round of applause, guys. Thanks very much.